Berachot Perek Bet, Mishnah Gimel. I dedicate this learning to the memory of my father, Rav Simcha Yitzchak Kalman. We learned that in Kriat Shema, that the words of Shema obviously begin with Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. Shema means to hear. So the question that the Gemara wants to know is, does it mean literally that you have to hear what you say or not? Or is it Kriat Shema, reading of the Shema? So the Mishnah says, Hakurei et Shema velo hishmiya la'azno. If you are reading the Shema, velo hishmiya, the hashmiya means to make heard, la'azno, ozen. You didn't hear it to your ears, i.e., you said Shema, but you don't hear it. You say the words, but you're not saying it loud enough you can actually hear it. And we know you actually have to say it. You can't just read it, you can't just scan the page. You actually have to say it, but you didn't hear what you said. Says the Mishnah, Yatsa. You're Yotze b'di evet. Rabbi Yossi Omer, Lo Yatsa. Anytime you have a machloket, you always have to ask yourself, which opinion is more obvious and which is more interesting? Which is the one that you think makes the most sense? So if you say that Shema is Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, and even you cover your eyes, Shema Yisrael, so it makes more sense to say, at least at the first blush, that you should have to be, Rabbi Yossi would be the most logical opinion. Lo Yatsa. So what is the opinion of the Tanna Kama? Why did the Tanna Kama say you are Yotzei B'di Avad? So the Kahati brings the Gemara and Berachot. The Gemara says, how did the Rabbanan, how does the Tanna Kama understand Shema? The Gemara says it means Shema bechol lashon she'ata shomea. In every language that you hear, i.e., one is permitted to say Kriat Shema in any language that he wants. You can say it in English and you're still Yotzei, the mitzvah d'oraita of Kriat Shema. Nonetheless, you're Yotzei b'di avad. Of course, the Chatchila, you should say Kriat Shema in a way that you can hear. But if a person didn't say Kriat Shema in a way that he could hear, nonetheless, you're still Yotzei because we passed in the halacha that you could like the opinion that says you can say Kriat Shema in any language. Next, the Mishnah turns to the manner of Kriat Shema. How is a person supposed to be reading the Shema? Kara v'lo dikdek bi'otioteha. If you read Shema, v'lo dikdek, you weren't meticulous bi'otioteha in its words. Rabbi Yossi Omer Yatsa. Rabbi Yossi says, nonetheless, you still fulfill your obligation. Rabbi Yehuda Omer Lo Yatsa. So this is interesting. We have sometimes in Kriat Shema where it's very easy to mumble words. So if you say it quickly, b'chol lebavcha, it actually sounds like it's one word, b'chol lebavcha. So you have to make sure you say it, Hashem Elokecha b'chol lebavcha, b'chol nafshecha. There are many opportunities, b'chol lebavchem, va'avadetem mehira. If you're not careful, you could say, va'avadetem mehira, me'al ha'asatova, and you just go through. There's a few other examples as well here. Venatati esev bisadcha, whatever. You get the point. That if you're kara, if you read the Shema, but you're not meticulous in the words, again, then you're yotzei. Rabbi Yehuda Omer lo yatsa. Obviously, the chatchila, in the ideal situation, a person should read Shema meticulously and carefully. So you say every word quietly. You say every word in a way that you can hear. I think the best way to do it, and the way I always try to do it, is I lane it to myself. Most of the Sidurim have the ta'amim, and you lane it nice and a little quickly, but you read it in the ta'amim of the Torah, Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad ve'ahavta et Hashem Elokecha b'chol lebavcha, and you could hear it and you could concentrate, and it's something that's important, and you do it with meticulousness. That's the ideal. All this yatsa and lo yatsa means b'di avad. Yatsa means if you already did it that way, no, okay, you're yotzei. But obviously the chatchila, you should read it carefully and slowly and meticulously. I always find it ironic that we spend so much time in Pesukei Zimra, or even less time, zooming through, and then you get to Shema, you get to Berachot of Kriat Shema. That's the main davening. Take your time, relax, say it with patience. What can you do? Hakoreh lemafreya lo yatsa. Lemafreya means out of order. If you read the Pesukim out of order, if you read V'natati metar atzechem b'yitar yor malkosh v'asavta diganev d'ushcha b'tzavecha Shema Yisrael v'haya im shamoa. If you read it out of order, lo yatsa, you're not fulfilling, because the Gemara says, v'hayu hadvarim ha'ileh. V'hayu means these words should be, v'hayu hadvarim ha'ileh, these words should be. The Gemara says, b'havyatam yehu, they should be in their way, in the way that God told you to read them, you should read them. Okay, last thing. Karavita, this is a new subject. Karavita, yachzor l'makom sheta'a. If you made a mistake, you're reading and you made a mistake, you should go back to the place that you made a mistake. Tell me this hasn't happened to you. You're in the middle of Shema, and you're like in the middle of Uchtavtam, and you don't know, am I in this Uchtavtam, or am I in that Uchtavtam? So the Mishnah says, go back to the place that you made a mistake. You go back and start from before where you made a mistake. So the Gemara says, if you don't know which Uchtavtam you made a mistake on, you obviously have to go back to the first one. And it's a common error, it's a common mistake. It happens to all of us at one time or another. Okay? The Gemara says that if you made a mistake in the middle of a parak, then you should go back to the beginning of the parak. If you're not sure which Uchtavtam, you go back to the Uchtavtam, the first one. If you already got to L'man Yirbu Yemechem and you're not sure which one, you can assume that in the habit of saying it, you said the whole Shema. That's fair to assume. But obviously, as we said, the ideal, the Mishnah is talking about all these b'di'avad situations. But l'chadchila, a person should make every attempt to read carefully and meticulously and read it in the way that's supposed to be read, to have the proper kavanah, the intent to be makabel of Malchut Shamayim. Have a great day. As always, if you have questions or comments, you can email me rspolter@gmail.com.